Gentleman yields back. Mr. Correa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, let me say that no Democrat, and I imagine no Republican, is for any kind of criminal activity. None of us condemn any kind of criminal activity. And I believe any criminal that preys on our taxpayers should be prosecuted. And the United States is no place for a criminal. You know, a few years ago, I came home from work to police sirens, police activity, many police cars in my neighborhood. Later on, I found out that a man had been caught in the middle of an act of raping a woman in a local laundry room, apartment laundry room. Later on, the local police chief had told me that they had determined through investigation that this man was responsible for at least 20 rapes that had been reported. All the victims were undocumented, and the perpetrator was an American citizen. The perpetrator was an American citizen. No place in our society for these animals. Mr. Melnick, I'm going to ask you, what's a secure border?
I mean, that's a hard question to answer, but because the definition depends on everybody. The border has had, is it a border?
I'm going to ask you again, have we ever had a secure border on any administration?
No administration has ever 100% shut the border.
Mr. Melnick, that President Trump or President Biden caused the COVID epidemic?
No.
Is the border challenge right now that we have essentially a refugee crisis at our border? Is that unique to the United States?
No, every country in the Western Hemisphere is.
Colombia has about 3 to 4 million refugees that they're dealing with. Costa Rica's ambassador was screaming at us the other day. He's got a refugee challenge. Mexico, and this morning I found out even Jordan has a major challenge with refugees. And of course, Germany and the rest of Europe. So my question to you is, why are people coming? You know, I found out that by the time women from Central America reach our border, about 80% of them are either raped or sexually abused. And they prepare their bodies for that eventuality. So my question would be, from me to you, is why in God's name would a woman undertake that dangerous trip north? Is it because they're looking for a place to enjoy a vacation? Or why would they come north?
No one wants to leave home. They leave because they have no other options, or they feel that they have no other options. And because our legal immigration systems just don't allow people to come here in a way that we would want them to. Again, because we have 7.6 million people waiting in green card backlogs. It is taking people 20 years to get visas to come here, and that has allowed unscrupulous actors to sell this idea that coming to the southern border is the only way. And of course, it's a mixed flow. We have people arriving at our border today who have slam dunk asylum claims, and we have people who are just coming because the United States is the safest and most secure nation in the region, and we don't have a process.
Is that something new, or is that something that's been going on here for a couple of hundred years?
No, it's not new. What is new is, I think, how far abroad people are coming from, but certainly this idea of coming to the United States this way is not new. People have been crossing our border for over a century.
So would you say right now the debate here in this country are confusing the refugee asylum challenge with immigration reform? Sounds like we're talking the same issue, but we really have two different issues. Today, my guest at the State of the Union is a dreamer who's been here almost all her life. She's studying medicine in my district, can't find that line to that door we keep talking about. Her family can't either, yet they've been productive members of this society for 20, 30 years. Are those two issues being kind of convoluted right now politically?
Yeah, for most people, there's no line that they can get into. There's no
because there's no door.
Get there. There's no door. And if we just have a myopic focus on just the U.S.-Mexico border and we ignore everything else that's happening in the hemisphere.
Is Mexico helping us at the border? Are they being a partner with us, or are they not?
Our relationship with Mexico is incredibly entangled on migration. They have been providing more and more assistance.
Our guards in blue and green uniforms have told me they've never had better cooperation with Mexico at the border.
It has been since Programa Frontera Sur under President Obama in 2014. We have had increasing cooperation with the Mexican government, but of course, that has not been enough given the scale of migration and displacement in the Western Hemisphere over the last few years.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Once time has expired, Mr. Biggs.